What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is week 6 of the regular season. It's SEC After Dark, your favorite day of the week, your favorite time slot for the week, because you get to get us. I'm Corey Burton, Locked on Vandy, and the regular guys. Joining me is Stephen Willis, Locked on Ole Miss, Mike Huseman, Offseason After Dark, Jeb Beecham, soon to be movie buff. I don't know what Tyler's show is going to be, but it's workshop. Bossman, one half of the biscuits in SEC. Hammer must be fulfilling his 00 missions or something like that. I don't know what's going on there. And of course, Jake Thomas, your double shot of Alabama, Bama After Dark, Tide Talk Live, and that rounds out the crew. We are SEC After Dark. We are live, so the comments, get them rocking. Rick After Dark, I'm sure you're in there. I haven't even checked the comments yet, but it's as good as whatever. So get ready, sit back, grab some lava. See, there's a little horizon back there, just like explodes into, and the little horizon comes, and just the lava just spills over.
I'm waiting on Anakin Skywalker to become Darth Vader in front of my eyes.
Oh, that's a good point.
He already did that.
I mean, where do you think Hammer is? I mean, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Is he on Mustafar?
Must be
somewhere maybe Tatooine. We got a couple planets to check.
Yeah. Oh boy. So anyway, we're here. We're live, and again, we must be in a bizarro world because the game of the week, and it's not because the rest of the week is weak. It's because this is a top 20 matchup. Alabama versus Vandy. That's the big showdown. Before we get into any of that, though, we're going to talk about Texas, Florida, Mississippi State, A&M. We're going to make our picks. But Sam Pittman, guys, did we talk about him last week?
We've probably talked about him for the last month, and we have to keep doing it.
Yeah, we just all assumed that he was gone at some point, and it just finally happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
It needed to happen. I think good on him, and he's going to be a great O-line coach somewhere, and I'm extremely fired up for whatever team he joins up as an O-line coach for. But man, what's next? Is it like the worst kept secret that Bobby Petrino's just going to take over and just be the next head coach? Is that what we're looking at here?
That's where we're going.
I don't think it's a certainty. But for the rest of this season, he will be. Long term, I don't think we can say for sure.
I wouldn't think Arkansas, like their boosters, that kind of stuff, would want him back. But I don't know.
Brett Lashley's such an obvious choice too.
Yeah, but the problem is in the age of NIL, SMU is not a bad place to be. They are the richest school in Texas.
That is
He's
true.
also an alumni. He's an alumni in Arkansas, though. That will carry weight.
Based on his press conference this week, I don't know. We had a little bit on it last night on Biscuits and SEC Live, but I watched that clip a couple times of him being asked about the Arkansas job in the press conference with Brett Lashley. I think it was on Monday. And not classic denial. And if you read the body language, it's like, oh, there's definitely conversations happening. So I don't know if it's going to be for a raise at SMU or if he's going to end up at Arkansas when it's all said and done. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
He needs to win games at SMU or they'll just let him go. Honestly.
Right.
I mean, if they can get him, that's great. I wonder how many rejections they have to get before they just stick with Bobby Petrino. I don't think it'd be that many, but
there's so much nostalgia and love for what Bobby Petrino did there before the motorcycle accident. But the problem with Petrino, though, is that every stop he's been at that's been worth its salt, he has left an utter disaster by the end of his time. He's had some really high moments. He's won some Heisman's, had Arkansas, in the top 10 and everything. But after that, at the end of the whole road, man, do you want to go down that road again? I don't know.
He's kind of a hurricane. That's true.
Yeah, he might be the first coach that I can think of that has been a two-time head coach at two different Power 4 universities.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville and now Arkansas.
Louisville twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Arkansas twice.
Yeah.
Got to be the only coach that's ever done that.
I think you're right.
That sounds about right, but I'm sure there's someone out there. If
Yeah.
Rich Rod gets fired at West Virginia, goes back to Jacksonville State, we might.
Maybe like Tug Speedman in 1905. You know?
Man, see, I was
Yeah, right.
I was at Swanee, see, and I came back.
Yep.
You'll never take me alive, coppers.
Fought
Threw
in
that
World
ball
War I.
12 yards. Longest pass of the season.
Yeah, Corey's over there talking like Georgia football players driving on campus.
100 miles an hour.
You'll never take me alive, coppers.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna run the moon. Yes, hey. My quarterback just got drafted to go over to France to fight in the trench warfare.
Yeah. You know, do you know after 3 weeks ago, the whole thing is Georgia hasn't lost a home game since 2019. They haven't lost a home game since 2019. Now they haven't lost a home game since Saturday.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah, Jake. Kirby,
That.
I've never seen Kirby get out coached that badly. I
Uh,
mean, they were running circles around him.
That game was classic Lane. Get your popcorn ready for circa 2021. That's what
Yeah.
that was.
It was like I've never seen Georgia's defense look that lost.
oh,
Like it's just like they didn't know what they were in a blitz. They didn't know what the hell to do.
Till the second half.
They were still.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Alabama wasn't scoring points, they were still like chewing up clock and like
They moved the
Georgia
ball.
just couldn't figure it out. I think Alabama. It was more of like Alabama just failed on some plays.
But- Corey, let me ask you this. You know, you're the Georgia fan here. Why did Kirby not kick that field goal to tie it up?
He wanted momentum. He knew he needed momentum. Like he knew tying it up wasn't going to cut it. Like he needed.
But
that.
Alabama had scored at that point.
That is not the Kirby Smart that made him the best coach in
Right.
college football. He
That's why
plays by the numbers.
Yeah.
Always.
Mhm.
That was so out of character. Not to mention them going forward inside the 10-yard line in the first half. Kick the field goal, take the points. You have the talent to win the game. Don't give the other team hope.
Yeah.
And whenever you do that, they will take it. And when it's Alabama and Georgia, Alabama's just Georgia's daddy at this point. They see the logo, the numbers on the side of the helmet, the whole 9 yards, and they just freak out.
Yeah,
And
it's odd. Like
yeah,
and I knew as soon as he was tackled, they tried to go tempo even. Like
Mhm.
the actual play call itself wasn't bad because they'd hit that play several times for
Somebody just missed a block on LT Overton. He come right through that line.
it was the right tackle. It was a
Right
true
tackle.
freshman. Got
He
the-
made a great play in space too. I'll give him. He did
Yeah.
what he had to do and got him down.
If that right
Yeah.
tackle even just gets a piece of Overton,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash Jones is probably moonwalking into the end zone.
No, yeah,
But-
for sure.
So I don't hate the call. I just think I don't know. Like that's a tough situation because I think you have to tie it up there and then just play your odds from there. And you've been
You're the
playing
home
decent
team.
defense, and you're the
Yeah,
home.
you're the home team.
Yeah.
you've been playing
Honestly, Corey, I
defense.
can almost see what happened and what he had seen it already this season. I
He
could see
panicked. He panicked.
Tennessee did the opposite of that. We had in your game and in the game against Georgia, we ended up getting late in the game, 2 touchdowns in a row, and then strip sacked your quarterback and got the ball back and had all this momentum on our side. And instead of trying to capitalize on that, we ran the ball 3 times and kicked a long field goal and just killed that momentum and in the end lost the game. So maybe he didn't want to do that. He wanted to keep that momentum going. I can almost understand that.
He felt like he needed that jolt, and he didn't
Yeah.
actually need that jolt. Like I think they had plenty of juice at that point because they had just missed a deep shot. Dude just dropped it. I mean, he was going to score.
Yep. Wide
I'm
open.
gonna tell you something right now.
He freaked out. He actually just freaked out.
Yeah.
There's no other way to explain it.
If that Kirby Smart and that Georgia goes to Jordan Hare Stadium in 2 weeks, they're going to get beat.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then they
I
got Ole
wanna-
Miss looming.
But I
Are
don't
you
think
sure? I don't know. I just watched Auburn last week, and they're pretty damn bad. I'll tell you that.
Oh, you are not as familiar with the Hugh Freeze experience as I am.
Fair.
Kirby
Yeah.
owns them.
Remember, the same coach that back-to-back beat Alabama also lost to Memphis.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true. Plus, hey, I'll say too. I know that rivalry, and it gets squirrely. It gets weird, especially in Jordan Hare. So
At night, oh my
at
God,
night, never say never.
It's Cam Newton.
Cam Newton night or day or whatever the hell they're calling it. But the one thing about Boss Man about your game though, Auburn in the fourth quarter had 1 total yard in the entire fourth quarter,
which is
amazing. That is awful.
And it was from the 2-yard line, which A&M gave them on a touchdown. That they, the whole thing was ridiculous. That the play that they got the interception on, it was a bad snap, then a bad throw, tip ball, interception, return to the 2, and they get the 1 yard of the fourth quarter comes on Jackson Arnold's rollout for a touchdown. Like, that was ridiculous. That whole game was just. It was very frustrating to watch as an A&M fan because of all the flags. We should have beaten them 30-3.
Yes,
maybe more.
Mm-hmm. That should have been a blowout for sure.
It should have been an absolute blowout, and you're sitting there on the couch like, what in the hell is going on? Like
it was like LSU Florida, where the winning team should have won by way more. We're watching like, why is this game still close?
Right.
And I tell you, if Auburn could figure out their offense, their defense is really good. They could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, but they
can't figure out their offense.
Steve, there's a word for this. There's a title for this, really, not just the huge experience.
And I'm trying to figure out who calls the play on third down and who calls the plays on second down, who calls the plays on first down. I mean,
did he fire the first down coordinator? And it's crazy. I mean,
going over on third down is hilarious with all of those wide receivers. You should accidentally get 3 first downs.
It's unreal. And it's not just one thing you can point to on that offense. I mean, there are multiple problems at every different level of the offense. Like they're having trouble running the ball, even with Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold is late. I think his timing is all off because of that offensive line. Like that offensive line is having trouble all over the place. They're not being coached well. Their protections are all off. And then once Jackson Arnold does have a little bit of time, he feels like he's either sped up or he's late. They ran so many speed outs and rollouts for Jackson Arnold to try to get him time. And even when he had those, he was late. He's, not reading. He's reading too late. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's an absolute mess. It's an utter disaster. So, and A&M should have won by way more. I agree with that totally. But
watching that game as a fan was very frustrating because, of course, I wanted Auburn to lose, but I was like, "Come on, A&M, get another touchdown. It won't be a 6-point game with them getting the ball back." And I was like, "Good gosh!"
They had them. They just kept getting called back with flags. They had the dagger with Mario Craver in the end zone, and you got our Reed Adams, a senior offensive line who should not be making that mistake. 6 yards over the line, and so you got a legal man downfield. You call it back. Like they just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
13 or 14 penalties. Something like
that. It was
13 for over 100 yards. How do you? I don't know. You shouldn't win ball games. 13 penalties over 100 yards, but Auburn is pretty dadgum bad. And if A&M does that again, if they do that, against Mississippi State this weekend, they'll lose. So they got to clean those penalties up real fast.
I don't know. Lucky for you, Mississippi State also commits a lot of penalties.
True.
That's one of those few games.
We had 14, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Vandy commits a lot of penalties, believe it or not. That's their.
Yeah, I think we set a program record for penalties in the first half.
Congratulations.
And still dominated that game. If it wasn't for those penalties and turnovers, Ole Miss would have beaten LSU by 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. LSU's struggling too.
With the obvious of Garrett Nussmeier, like that quote, he's hurt, but he's not hurt, but he if you
he's
get
on 100%,
it won't hurt miss work. It felt like a Aflac ad.
Yeah, you want a hot take on Garrett Nussmeier? I'll give you a hot take. Garrett, nothing's wrong with Garrett Nussmeier. The same Garrett Nussmeier is playing quarterback now that played quarterback last season. The difference was when he got pressure one time last season against Florida, he was horrible. He was not very good. Now with the offensive line that LSU has, he's getting that pressure each and every week. So what you're seeing is just Garrett Nussmeier without those 2 NFL offensive tackles.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. And with BK dancing around all of that by sounding like Yogi Berra in an Aflac ad, it only adds fuel to that fire. You know, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work.
Yeah.
And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
He's handling that terribly. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if he's really not hurt, and this is all just, you know, rumors that are trickling up from Tiger droppings, you just don't even address it. If you get asked by some reporter about it, it's like, we don't address rumors here. There is nothing. There's no injury. He is fine, and he just needs to play better, and our whole offense needs to play better. But instead, now we've gone from here, oh, no, he's not hurt, to, well, maybe, and now, oh, he is hurt, and Nussmeier's after the game saying I'm not hurt. It's like, what are we talking about here?
The bleak has been a range of either off the bone, like on the floor over there on the other side of the room, like a slight tear. Maybe he just like got, you know, the same injury that I get when I, you know, wake up too fast, or, you know, that kind of thing. Like it's just a wide ranging thing. And it's like, is his knee hurt? Is it not hurt? Like, what's going on here? Like, is he actually being held together by duct tape and bubble gum? Hey. Is he completely fine and we're just trying to cover up him playing terribly? Like the speculation is, it's just getting louder and louder and louder, and Brian Kelly's doing nothing.
He's not helping it.
He's doing nothing to quiet it down.
No.
With the noise that's around that program, they're the leader in the clubhouse to be this year's Florida State.
Yeah. And I was going to ask, if things continue going like it is, when are they going to be put on quit watch?
Pretty soon, after they lose to Vandy.
I will say this: that defense is really good.
Their defense is really good.
I mean, they got monsters at all 3 levels. Good grief.
Yep.
But their offense, man, with the weapons that they have on the outside, Aaron Anderson and Barry and Brown and all those guys, get a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. If you do that, you are going to luck into 2 touchdowns a game. I would put Michael Van Buren in the game, honestly, because he can run around and do a lot of the stuff that Trinidad Chambliss does.
And he's presidential too. Like, he's very presidential. He's very, you know, just good.
Statesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Well said, boss man. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Jake, let's get into this game here. My other team, the one that my other team, Vandy, is traveling down to Tuscaloosa, taking on the Crimson Tide. It's still at 11.5 points, I believe. I haven't checked the line.
10.5 plus I saw.
Yeah,
10.5 now. So I haven't.
That's what I saw
in a couple of days. But here we go.
60% of the bets and 60% of the money's on Vanderbilt in this game.
And they say 60% of the time it works every time. No. So this is going to be, man, this is going to be a classic show, man. I've been doing the press tour, man. This has been a lot of fun. I've been on Amazon. I went on Locked On College Football. Like, I had Mike on. I'm working on something with Crane and Company. I might do something there. It's a freaking press tour, man. I love it. I'm not used to it, but I love it. It's a lot of fun. So this game has a lot of impact. It's a massive game. Never thought in a million years I would say Vanderbilt, Alabama, game day, massive game, top 20 matchup. But here we are. And to me, it's an epic duel of 2 really good quarterbacks, 2 best quarterbacks. Mike, I think, what was it in QBR we talked about?
Yes, they're both top 15 of the country. They're the 2 best in the SEC.
Yeah, and it's Pavia then Simpson, right, in the rankings. Is that
correct?
Correctly,
yeah. So Pavia's 9th overall, Simpson's 15.
Yeah. So you have 2 great quarterbacks, and I said, and I think a lot of you maintain this as well, but. Ty Simpson is perfect for what Alabama wants to do. Like, perfect for what Ryan Grubb wants to do. He is the right-handed Michael Penix. Gets the ball out quick, throws well on timing, disrupts his rhythm. So what have you noticed? And I talked to Luke Robinson about this. Like, what do you notice about Ty Simpson? Is there are red flags. There's red flags with every quarterback. So what are Ty Simpson's red flags in your mind?
If he gets pressured, then, you know, he kind of gets panicked and leaves the pocket. One thing we saw in the Florida State game was he didn't run for that first down. He tried to throw the ball, And that Georgia game, he got pressured, got out of the pocket, and he actually ran for a first down. So I guess you can kind of take that red flag away. But, overall, the biggest key for me for Ty Simpson is he has not turned the ball over. He's been very sure-handled and sure-handed this year. And, Jalen Milroe, the last season, I think he had 2 or 3 picks before even coming to the Vandy game. So he was kind of erratic all over the place. So
he was a terrible fit for that offense.
Yeah, right. So, this is it's the same Alabama team, but it's kind of a different team as well because just what Ty Simpson can bring to the table.
Steve, how do you you get a quarterback that's that good, that elite at timing and rhythm? How do you get a guy like that off rhythm? Because throwing bodies at him may not necessarily work. There's got to be other ways. How do you do that?
I think you need to make him one-dimensional, which everybody always jokes about the Alabama running game and the lack of doing that. And Alabama basically has been one-dimensional. But I think if you can make them one-dimensional and predictable, then the pressure starts to kind of get on your shoulders because Alabama thought they were going to beat Georgia. They did. So the pressure wasn't there because everybody else thought that Georgia was going to rise up. This was finally their year. Alabama got to go to Athens as an underdog, essentially. This Vandy game reminds me a little bit of the Florida State scenario. First of all, you're playing the team after Georgia, which there's always a toll that is paid when you play Georgia the week after. Second of all, Alabama did not stop the run very well against Georgia.
They didn't.
They are ranked 90th in the country at stopping the run.
Yeah.
And the team in the SEC that is the best at scheming up the run game and keeping it on schedule to where it's 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, and they can just do that and hold the ball for 37 minutes is Vanderbilt. I think this is a resistible force versus the movable object, essentially, with the Vandy Alabama game, because the strength of one side is the weakness of the other. Whoever can take advantage of that. And I think right now I'm leaning towards picking Vanderbilt in this game because of Vandy's ability and Jerry Kill's ability to scheme up the run game, and Diego Pavia bringing freaking Johnny Manziel to the game. That's just a fun Tuscaloosa curse. It would be interesting to see what would happen if Vandy won this game, because this would be the second loss for Alabama with some big games on their schedule.
Absolutely. And one of the things I noticed, Boss Man, I'll come to you on this one, or Jake, whichever one of you want to jump in. But what I noticed about this, noticed about this Alabama team is what they were able to do psychologically to Georgia. And when I studied that, I kind of took that approach, obviously rooting for Georgia, but took that approach of, okay, let's see what Alabama's doing to Georgia. Like, why is Georgia in such a blender? And I think is defensively, it's because Alabama decided, hey, we're gonna bend on the run game. Like we're not gonna put much eggs in the run game because we're not good at that anyway. We're just gonna kind of make them beat us in the run game. And Georgia just wasn't good enough to take full advantage of that. And I think Georgia panicked a little bit. I think Vanderbilt can do something similar to Alabama, where they're so overwhelming in the run game that Alabama kind of panics on defense. And that's kind of where I see this thing headed.
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steven. What were you going to say?
Oh, it's just Vandy is in a unique position to play dirty. Teams, if it's not pretty, they panic. In modern college football, they panic if it's not pretty. Georgia panicked because they weren't prepared to win an ugly game. The way that Georgia was going to beat Alabama on Saturday was LSU and Alabama circa 2011, to where it just turns into a slugfest, a rock fight. Georgia runs the ball, holds on to it for 35 minutes, puts pressure on Alabama. That was the path to win the game. They weren't patient enough to let it happen. They weren't smart enough to just take the points. If they would have done that, they would have won the game.
That's why Kirk Ferentz has won 200 games in 20 years, because he does that all the time.
Yeah.
He wins with ugly offense, punting.
Yeah.
Defense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the way for Georgia to win that game. Most of the time, Georgia can out-talent the team that's on the other side of the line of scrimmage from them. They can't do that with Alabama. So you have to figure out a way to win in the game outside of the talent. And when the talent is even, Kirby obviously doesn't really have answers.
No, he doesn't.
His only answer is just, hey, we have better players than you. We will beat you that way. If he doesn't, he's not going to win the game.
I wonder if that's generalizable over the long term, or if it's just this year he thinks that about his own team.
No, I've noticed in games.
Go for it, Corey.
The Notre Dame game the Sugar Bowl. Like I mean, there was some other weird factors in that game that kind of distracted him, but that was a game where Kirby kind of panicked, and I think they made some questionable calls there. Like it's games like that, like the other playoff games that he's lost, the time, it's just all down the line. Like 2018 LSU, like that team was setting up the national championship team, but like they got their ass handed to them that year, and it was equal bear talent. Kirby didn't know what to do. It's a trend.
Yeah.
It's also a small sample of losses too, so
there are many losses.
He's been more talented than most of the teams he's played.
Yeah, go ahead, boss man.
Well, back to this game. I'm thinking. I mean, first of all, Alabama's not overlooking Vandy this year. Obviously,
no, not at all. Not at all.
That factor is out, right? Like they're seeing what Vanderbilt has done. They got the loss against them last year, and a historic loss. So they're coming off a big win, and I'm with you, Steve. I think that there is definitely a Georgia price to pay. Like there's a couple teams like that in the SEC where you play them that week, and the next week, win or lose, you have a price to pay in terms of your physical health going into the next one. So that plays to Vandy's advantage here. However, this is the best defense so far that Vandy is going to have played. Alabama looks a little bit, down in terms of their numbers because they played some pretty good teams here. The interesting thing to me is I know that Vanderbilt right now is second in the SEC in terms of rushing offense and scoring. They're scoring 49 points a game right now, which is just absurd, like just crazy. But I don't think that they're going to be able to do that, obviously, against an Alabama team. So my question really is, Alabama's going to be able to score on this Vanderbilt defense. Vanderbilt is giving up points. They gave up a good amount of points. I think it was last week, right? To 50
Utah State
points. Yeah, last week. Yeah. So Alabama's going to be able to score on Vanderbilt. So a little bit weird to question whether or not Vanderbilt is going to be able to keep up, considering they're scoring 49 points a game. But I really think that's what it comes down to: is are they going to be able to keep up? Because Bama's going to score points. I don't expect a full shootout in this one. I don't think this one's going to be like 52-48 or something at the end of this. But I do think that Vanderbilt's probably going to have to score in the high 30s if they're going to have a shot to win in this game.
The funny thing, boss man, about this game, Alabama has struggled most recently about teams that were unranked. If they were playing an unranked Vanderbilt team, Vanderbilt would have a better chance of winning the game. The fact that Vandy has a number besides their name means that Alabama is probably going to be up a little bit more than they would have been.
Yeah. And the fact that it's in Tuscaloosa this year, there's just a lot of things right now that are on the Tide side. But, man, it's hard to look across and say they're going to beat Vanderbilt because Diego Pavia is playing out of his mind. This Vanderbilt team looks really, really good, frankly. So Alabama has their hands full. Like this one is not just an obvious check W right there. The line here really makes me question. I went back and forth on this one as to who to pick.
Yeah. Jake. Nobody cares. Red Sox, Yankees. We've never seen this rivalry before.
Where did he get a picture? Where did he get a picture of Jeb at?
Hey.
Hey, the Braves got rid of Snit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And the rumor is they're looking at Tony Vitello.
They better hurry.
Thank you for your 50 years of service, Snicker, but get the out of my team.
And the Tigers won. They took the series over the Guardians, which is hilarious because they have been bad over the last month. They're all hurt. They're all
We
We
beat
also
up.
have CUSA going
Yeah.
on. Sam Houston and New Mexico State are scoreless in the first quarter.
Noise.
Of
Okay.
course they
Yeah,
are.
they were on a
Yeah.
Sunday.
Right.
Can't wait to turn that one on.
Yeah.
I heard that Phil
Hold
Longo
on,
has
guys.
gone up to 28 plays.
Get my remote here and turn it on.
Yeah.
Tony Vitello, yeah, they better hurry because the Giants are really hot on that trail. So
Oh,
if they want them, they better
Uh,
hurry. They better out.
Yankees are up 4-0 in the fourth. I see.
I'll tell you who I want, Corey. There's another guy who I want that is, I think he's a bench coach for the Rangers right now, and that is Skip Shoemaker.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why I want him is because he's the only guy in the last like 30 years or 20 years who has taken the Marlins to a winning record when he was the manager down there.
Yeah,
He won 90 games with them.
I would love to give that one a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. So anyway,
All right, Jake, your opinion here. Like, to me, Jake, when I look at Alabama and when I look at this game, also is which team's going to dictate the tempo? Is Alabama going to start slow and allow Vanderbilt to kind of set roots in there and control the ball, or is Alabama going to start fast? And if Alabama puts up a couple of quick ones, like this game might turn upside down a little bit.
well, the thing about it from last year to this year is the time of possession. You look at the time of possession. Vandy had the ball for 42 minutes last year, and they scored over 400, or they had over 400 yards total yards in offense. Alabama had it 18 minutes and still had nearly 400 yards. So my thing is, Alabama has shown you the first two drives of Georgia were 14 plays and 14 plays. So they can, run and keep it within, like an 8 to 10 minute drive. They have done that and controlled the ball. So that's a good question, Corey. Does Alabama control the clock to keep Vandy's offense off the field? And, I don't know what to do here because I'm with you, Bossman. I don't know if it's going to be a classical shootout, but it's going to be a high scoring game.
You got to get Vandy on their heels.
Right.
Because that's when Diego Pavia is going to panic. Like,
Right.
if he's on his heels and feels like he has to make a big play and score 14 points on one throw, like that's where you're going to get him to turn the ball over some. So,
Yeah.
I think they've got to be a little bit more quick strike.
If Alabama gets up 14 early, then you could probably start seeing Pavia make mistakes, and he don't make a lot of them.
I was going to say, I think this is DeBoer likes to jump on people, and this is the game to jump on them. If you jump on Vanderbilt 14-0, 17-0, 17-3 early or something like that, get a couple quick touchdowns, get the Alabama fans in Bryant Denny going nuts, and you got the lights going and the whole thing. If you got all that going on, and you have Vanderbilt on their heels, and like you said, Corey, Diego Pavia feels like he's got to really make some big plays and, play hero ball, that's when you could see him make some mistakes, and that's when Alabama can really, put the foot on your neck.
On the flip side of that is a one-score game in the fourth quarter. That could be advantage Vandy.
Totally.
Yeah, very well could.
Definitely.
And also if on the flip side of what you were saying, boss man, if Vandy gets out to an early lead and quiets that crowd, it could be a totally different ball game.
Very much
on the rumble down there. Like that's not a crowd that you want quiet because they're not like we're gonna lose this game. They're already planning on who's gonna get there first with the yard signs and the bricks. Like that's what they're thinking.
Let's go to round.
And Vandy's used to playing in quiet, so that's their element.
They play 12 road games a year, so there you go.
You merely adopted the quiet. I was born in it. Molded by it.
Main reference, check.
Let me tell y'all some of that score right there. Matt Jones has found his team. He is doing great at the 49ers right now.
Quarterback controversy. Brock Purdy, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Not a controversy.
Bill Belichick. About Tom Brady.
Kyle Shanahan has a decision to make.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it will keep it.
49ers after dark. Here we go.
Yeah.
I will say this. The Rams have the most junior college looking uniforms in the NFL.
Yeah, they do.
They need to go back to the 90s ones that they wore when they went to the Super Bowl with Goff. Those were great. Like the yellow, the blue, the white, just the regular Rams, the classic, sometimes they go with the white and the navies. Those were great.
Show on turf or whatever.
I didn't like those. But the blue, the dark blue and yellow, just stick with that.
Yeah.
So let's make some picks, okay? Jake, you and I will go last on this one. Steve?
I think Alabama had trouble stopping the run against Georgia. If Georgia would have been patient with it, they could have won the game running the football against Alabama. Vandy will stick with it. And it's weird to say this, but Vandy likes to physically just demoralize you running the football. And if they have the ability to do that, they are going to win this game. Now, they're 10-point underdogs, and winning in Tuscaloosa is always hard. I get all of that. I just think that Diego Pavia, for whatever reason, has some sort of black magic curse against the state of Alabama. And I think they're going to make plays. They're going to stay on schedule. They're going to keep the ball. They're going to frustrate Alabama offensively. They'll stop the run. Ty Simpson's he'll get confused from time to time because Clark Lee is really good at figuring out how to confuse quarterbacks from time to time. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Commodores in this game.
Mike?
I think Vanderbilt covers in this one. I do not think they win. This Alabama team is super polarizing defensively. Second in pass D, 90th in run D. They're 99th in third down D, and Steve had mentioned before, Vandy's great at staying on target. If they can get manageable third downs, they'll move the ball and control some of the clock. But I think this Bama team has figured it out after week one. I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder in this game. And like Jake had mentioned, they're not turning the ball over. So I think Bama gets a W, but I can't understand why the spread is as big as it is. It makes no sense to me. To me, this should be like a 7.5 point game, 6.5, somewhere in that range, not double digits in a hook. So I got to take Vandy with those points.
And if Vanderbilt wins this game, we've got to start talking about Atlanta in their future potentially, because
look at the rest of their schedule. It is not out of the realm of possibility, but they got to get past this one first, obviously.
I think it would be hilarious if Ole Miss played Vanderbilt in Atlanta. They'd stop having that game altogether.
They would. They really would.
Jeff? Looking at schedules, realistic shot Mizzou makes it too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the last 31 games, Ole Miss and Mizzou are 26-5 over the last 31 games.
And we talked about Bama being 90th in run D. Good luck next week when you go to Mizzou and play Ahmad Hardy. You'll have to stop him. Yeah.
And their backup's good too.
Really. That game scares me more than this game, honestly.
Me too. Yeah.
Diego, did you hear that?
No, we heard him. We've been hearing him talk all week about taking the crowd out.
Stingray.
But I'm last night. Spread though. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stingray on our show last night. He called his shot. He said Mizzou's beating Alabama next week.
It's a trap game for sure.
It is.
11 o'clock kickoff. Nobody ever gets up for 11 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah. Ole Miss is getting Georgia in between Auburn and Florida.
Oh.
That may not be as much of a trap game as you think, as Auburn sucks.
Yeah, go play them at nighttime in Jordan-Hare Stadium and walk out. I'm telling you, I'm serious.
I've done it plenty of times. I feel you. We've also
right now. I am all Auburn in that game, and I have no respect for what Hugh Freeze has. I just think that is a game that is just they have sold their soul to win this game.
And Kirby hates Hugh Freeze with a passion, so he's going to make sure he is up for that game. So that's the dueling voodoo here. All right, Jeff.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want me to pick now?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, we tried it for a while. So, no, I'm just kidding. I saw a post earlier today that made me laugh. It was like this game is either going to be Diego Pavia's swan song into like the history books, or Bama's going to win by 70. That's the way it seems to be shaping up, and I kind of feel like it's going to be more on the Bama side, but I just can't pick against Vandy right now. I love them. I'm rooting for them, and I'm a Tennessee fan. I know it's crazy. I hope they lose by at least 50 when they play Tennessee, but this game, I'm rooting for them. So
get this guy off his meds, man.
I'm just going to say with
the spread coming at pitchforks and torches.
I know.
They're riding they're riding right outside your window.
That's why I had to wear all my Tennessee gear, so you understand. I'm still a Tennessee fan. This is just a temporary thing.
Have you ever heard of a new game called Tar and Feather?
That's where you're fishing the head.
Tar and Feather.
That's why I'm hiding in Florida, man. They're not gonna find me down here.
All right, big Vandy boss man.
But yes, I'm taking Vandy to cover though. I really am. I think Bama wins the game though.
All right, boss man.
This spread is just too much for me. 13.5. I mean, I've seen Vanderbilt over the last 4 weeks. I picked them to go 4-8, and they've already hit their 4 here on the season. So I think they're easily going to go over that. Diego Pavia just wrong every single week, and their rushing offense is really dang good. Alabama's rushing defense not very good, and I think they're going to be able to control the ball. I think they're going to be able to get play action going a little bit with Diego Pavia. This kid's just nails right now. So I'm picking Alabama to win. I think the fact that it's in Tuscaloosa, I think, and Alabama's not going to be overlooking them, like I said earlier. So I'm going to take Alabama to win, but I think Vandy covers the spread. I think it's a game all the way late into the fourth quarter.
All right. Jake, I called my shot in every media appearance that I've had. I've called my shot. I've said I've been the bold guy. I've been like people are probably looking at me a little sideways, but I took Vandy. I took Vandy 34-31. It's a more high scoring type rock fight, but I do think it's going to be a rock fight-ish. It's going to be kind of a physical slugfest game, and that favors Vandy's style. I think the Brocket launcher, Brock Taylor, is going to yeah, that's a great name.
Great nickname.
He kicks long field goals, man. The Brocket launcher. He's going to kick a field goal late, and I think that's going to push him ahead. So I'm taking Vanderbilt here, Jake.
Well, being a homer here, but I'm picking Alabama to win and cover. But it's going to be a physical game, and it's really hard for me to say it's going to be a physical game with Vandy on the opposite end because we're not used to that. But they have a new edge about them, and it's going to be a physical, hard-fought game. I do think there is an X factor that Vandy has not seen yet. Last year, Bray Hubbard did not play in this game because Keon Sabb was still playing. You really can't match somebody's physicality like Bray Hubbard's until you play against that guy. And he's our best hitter. He's like a missile when it coming after a ball carrier. He knows where the ball's at. So I think he's going to be an X factor. And just like in the Georgia game, I think he either has a forced fumble or causes a interception, which kind of helps seal the deal for an Alabama win here.
So real quick before we move on to the next game, Alabama has a very aggressive defense, like super hyper aggressive.
Yeah, stupid aggressive.
Yeah, there's no better coach in the Southeastern Conference than Jerry Kill of taking that aggression and using it against you. Exactly. So expect like Eli Stowers and those guys to make plays. There's going to be reverses, screens. You will see them get creative and empty the clip in this game. But like I said, in Tuscaloosa, it's hard to beat Alabama.
It is very difficult, and I understand that. However, I think this team, like this particular team, there's just something about them. But anyway.
Hey, what about this? I mean, Alabama has this up their sleeve too.
He's been insufferable at practice.
I want them to line him up in the backfield and just let him run through the middle. I mean, you talk about opening up a run game.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of Hugh Freeze, he did that with Robert Kimdichie and got him concussed against
That's true.
When they lost that game. So
that's true. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that, girl.
They might go from 108th to 40th in one game with him.
Anyway.
He's a freaking unit, man. All right, Texas, Florida. This is a weird one here because Florida is
very weird.
Defense is not the problem, has never been the problem in Florida this year. I think the offense, it's bad. Arch Manning,
bad.
It's bad, right? So this is kind of like the who's going to finally like sort of figure it out bowl with the quarterbacks. And you have two great defenses going at it. So, like, this could be the Mississippi State-Auburn 3-2 game where someone hits a two-run single in the in the 7th inning to push this one ahead. So like, I really honestly don't know what to expect from this game, but since it's at the Swamp, like you have to think that that's going to factor in somehow with the humidity and just the I don't know, just it's going to be just something weird for Arch Manning to look at. Like it's just another like way to scramble him a little bit, and I think it's going to be again I think Florida's defense can win this game for them.
Yeah, I don't think humidity is going to be that much of a problem since he's from New Orleans.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be what is it? Quintavious Wisner is going to play in this game. Jaden Baugh is one of my favorite running backs in the entire Southeastern Conference. Whenever Billy Napier decides he wants to use Jaden Baugh, Ford is an infinitely better team, but they have it in their head that they need DJ Lagway to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns to be a good team, as opposed to being what they are instead of being what they want to be. And I like Ford in this game because I do think it's going to be extremely low scoring, and there's, you get more than a touchdown of points in this game. I genuinely am taking Ford as at least cover this line because I don't think many points are going to be scored and you get more than a touchdown.
I don't know what to think about this game.
I just feel like Texas is too talented to be this bad at offense. They've got to figure it out eventually. Everybody still seems to assume they're going to figure it out eventually. They've really only played one good defense so far this season, and it did not go well for them at all. So I don't know, but I wouldn't say just because they did well in their last game that means they figured it out.
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't, because the last game was
Sam Houston State.
Yeah, that doesn't count. But
hey, Arch taunted the Sam Houston defensive back.
No, he's
He
not
got
to
his
the point
swagger
where he
back.
figured it out.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Picking on a 0-6 putrid Sam Houston team, that's gonna.
Yeah.
That's
and I don't think it's going to go great against Florida, but at the same time, I can't see them not at least figuring a little bit out, doing better than they did against Ohio State, improving. And I don't see Florida just being able to do anything offensively, honestly. So that's the reason I'm going with Texas in this one, is just because I believe Texas will do enough and Florida will do nothing. But we'll see. Maybe Florida will be the one to figure it out. You never know. Lagway has the talent, but.
And Texas is eventually going to play an SEC team with the starting quarterback the whole game. So we have that going too.
They're going to struggle.
Yeah, we'll see them at Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yeah.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
So I'm with Jeb. I mean, Florida's coming off a bye week here. I'm a little worried still about DJ Lagway's health. He was in a boot early in the week, after the Miami game. So how healthy really is he? And then they've done nothing. I mean, nothing on offense all season so far. Now, Texas, their defense is the best in the SEC. 7.8 points a game is what these guys are giving up. Now, I know it's been against some bad teams, but in the first game, now Julian Sayin from Ohio State has played pretty well since that first game against Texas. And Texas did a very good job. I mean, 14 points, I think, was the total for Ohio State. So this Texas defense is really, really salty. I think coming off a bye week, you're talking about Texas has to figure it out on offense, Jeb. I feel like at some point, DJ Lagway and Florida's got weapons too. Like maybe this Florida offense has to figure something out as well. I think it helps the fact that they're in the Swamp, but I just think Texas is too talented, and I think that Arch Manning is going to start to find his stride a little bit in this game. I just don't think Florida has anything on offense, and going up against this Texas defense, I mean, good luck. I just really don't think they've got anything in the tank to be able to do that. So I'm going to take Texas here. I think this one ends up – I think they're going to cover the spread. I think this one ends up something like – it's going to be an excruciating game to watch. I think no matter which fan of Texas or Florida you are, I think it's going to be a tough one to watch. So I think it's going to be like grinded out 21-10 Texas. They end up with a win, something like that.
It's all running game. It's going to be a fast game. I'll make a pick here. I think everything I said about Florida could be true. I just think I think they're so bad on offense that all their efforts are going to be wasted. Like they're going to hold Texas to a relatively winnable margin, and it's going to feel like they got blown out because like Florida's offense can't do anything. And I think it's going to be something like 17-13 or like 17-6 or like something where it's like you're just like, God, Florida, if you could just muster 2 drives, you would win this game. But it's going to be if you're a defensive coordinator, if you're a high school defensive coordinator, you're probably turning this one on, right? Like if you're into defensive football, you're going to watch this game. If you're an offensive coordinator, you're going to run really far away from this one. And you're probably going to go watch the Alabama game, Alabama Vanderbilt game. You're going to go watch Georgia Tech. You're going to go watch anything but this game.
Yeah.
So you may even watch Mississippi State, Texas A&M. Like there's going to be some decent offense there. So I'm taking Texas by like a low scoring affair.
Mm-hmm. I'll go next, Mike.
Says.
Yeah, I'll let you go last, Mike. I'll say this real quick about this game.
Yeah.
This Bossman, he's talking about, Florida needs to figure it out on offense. What they need to do and what needs to happen is Billy Napier give up that play sheet and give it to somebody who can actually call an offense.
You don't know what's on it anyway.
But I mean, he's holding on to that thing like it's Gollum, holding the ring right now. Would not let go. My precious, he just ain't letting go of it. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, and it's just hurting their offense, and it's hurting me because I actually boldly predicted Florida to have a good season and end up in the SEC championship game at the end of the year. That ain't going to happen now. So, but yeah, Corey, I'm with you. I think this game is probably going to be like a 17-7, game, and I'm picking Texas to win this game.
Yeah,
Jimbo Fisher's available if they need an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody, if you need somebody just to even organize your play sheets, I think Jimbo Fisher
or reorganize them every drive. Every play.
Yeah.
He's like the nerd that got the book slapped out of his hand. He has to like pick it up, and he doesn't like stack and need all.
You only got 5 minutes to get to class, Corey. You got to get it real quick.
I think I got it down here. How am I doing? Got the Jimbo Fisher going on. Just
it's way too organized, boss man. It's way too, papers aren't flying out everywhere.
The nose.
Yeah. Well,
so
all right.
I'm almost exactly with boss man on that one. I think we're looking in that 21-10, 24-10ish range. That Texas, everything's got lost in the wash in terms of Arch and everything else they do. Their front 7 on D is really salty, and I don't see Florida having much luck in the trenches or running the ball unless Lagway can break a long one. Because like Steve said, they're not giving Ball the ball hardly at all. So I think Florida's going to have trouble sustaining drives and having multiple scoring drives. So with the spread, it was tough for me in Gainesville, but lower scoring, I think the Longhorns have enough to cover.
All righty.
Apparently, I just put a link in the chat. They just put a link of an AI song that was done that's called "We're on Island Time." That's about Trinidad Chambliss.
Fantastic.
It's pretty funny. So,
all right.
All right. Is everybody made a pick?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Mississippi State, Texas A&M. We got Boss Man. I'll let you set this one up for us.
So this is a game historically that A&M blows it. So I posted this meme on Twitter, so y'all can go find it. But I had the dog with the Vietnam helicopters like freaking out, during the fireworks on 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the Sumlin graphic when A&M was number 4 in the first ever college football playoff rankings in 2016. And that was right before the Mississippi State game that year. And they went to Starkville and they got rocked. Yeah. They came back late in the 4th quarter and made it a game, but Mississippi State beat them. And this series overall, long term, it's 9-9. It's even since A&M came back into the SEC. And Mississippi State, for whatever reason, has just been a thorn in the side of the Aggies. So
Nice.
You look at this one and it kind of makes you wonder, like, man, Mississippi State playing pretty well. They just pushed Tennessee to overtime, pushed them to the brink. They got the win over Arizona State, number 12. Their offense is playing really well. As an Aggie fan, you're kind of like, and we just played a game that we should have won 30-3 and barely walked out with a win. So I think there's a little bit of momentum on Mississippi State's side here. But I'll just go ahead and make a pick here. I think there's just too much for the Aggies here. You have the Mississippi State offense is giving up, I think, the most amount of sacks of anybody in the SEC. They're 16th in the SEC giving up sacks. A&M just had 5 sacks against Auburn. I think you got Cassius Howell, their right tackle. Mississippi State's right tackle is not going to be playing in this game. I think that's a huge, huge deal. So that's a big thing. Mississippi State giving up 135 yards a game rushing. I think this is a game where A&M really turns on Le'Veon Moss, and they give it to Le'Veon Moss. They hand it off to Reuben Owens, and I think A&M has a really solid game with the rushing attack because Mississippi State has a pretty good pass defense. So I think A&M leans on this rushing attack. I just think A&M overall has a little bit too much, and the fact that this one is at night at Kyle Field, a lot riding on this game. I think A&M pulls out the win here.
Okay. Steve.
I think that A&M's going to cover and pull out the win in this game because, honestly, Mississippi State, how do they bounce back from what happened against Tennessee? Because they should have beat Tennessee. They should have won that game. And 2 defensive touchdowns and losing the game in overtime the way they did, I think it takes teams like Mississippi State and just kind of sets them back. And now you have to go on the road at night in Kyle Field with all that going on, with a team that can physically just dominate you from time to time running the football. I just don't know that Mississippi State's going to be able to do it. And this could kind of feels like the beginning of the end for them because they have Texas. They have all these programs lined up, just ranked program. I think this is kind of the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah. It's again, I'm with you there, Steve. Like Mississippi State, I think exhausted their chance right there. They had Tennessee on the ropes. They had a chance to land the knockout punch, and they did not. And then they ended up losing. The penalties didn't help, but they're still a team that I'm very impressed with in their effort. You can definitely see that they're on the rise with Jeff Lebby. But you also can see that they still have a long way to go. And A&M, everything that plagued them in that Auburn game is completely fixable. And if they fix it, they're going to start blowing teams out because they are legit. And I think you're going to see that a team that, boss man, you're used to seeing them blow this game, but like we finally got a real adult as the head coach for the first time in a long time with Mike Elko. I think those days are kind of over for you guys. And I think this will be the first step in gaining your trust in that regard. Clean up the penalties, work out some of the kinks with the offensive execution. Defense has been stellar. So just those things are extremely fixable. And for that reason, I like Texas A&M to win and to cover against Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's going white, maroon in the Texas A&M game.
Nice. By the way, Corey, to that point, just quickly here, I think you're right about Elko because the mentality you can see is really changing. The culture of this team is changing. Last week against Auburn, that is a game that A&M blows. In the last decade, that game with everything that happened, they should win. They beat them in yards, all this stuff, but all the penalties and everything, they give up a late score. Those are games in the past that A&M blows, and they didn't blow it last week. So I think that you're seeing, they're taking steps in the right direction where it's a different mentality with this team, and they won't do things like that again.
They believe in Elko. Yeah. Elko's great, dude. They believe in him full-heartedly. It feels like he's there to stay. Like he wants to be there. He loves being there. And he enjoys this team. He enjoys this atmosphere. And it's a great fit.
I agree.
They blew that game last year, at Auburn.
They did.
Too, so that's a good point. So
I'll go.
all right.
For me, I think I'm the only one of us who is on Mississippi State to cover. I think they do it. For me, their pass defense is pretty good. they're scoring points on everybody. I mean, Tennessee was the blueprint. They're going to score enough to stay in dogfights in a lot of these games. And to go off of what Boss Man said, Mississippi State's run D is bad, but A&M, they have good running backs. They have maybe the best O-line in the country. They haven't run the ball well yet so far. We have yet to see it. They're 62nd in the country at running. If they prove me wrong and run the ball, if they prove me wrong and run the ball well, A&M will cover this one. I'm betting on State to keep it close enough and cover a massive spread.
Yeah, and as much as we talk about Elko, you have to be impressed with the turnaround Jeff Leppe's done with this team
100%.
Mississippi State.
Yeah,
because they were bad last year, and this
they've
year
already hit their over on Wednesday. I mean, we thought they might get 4 all year. They're already up 4.
Right.
Yeah, no, they're so much better this year than they were last year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can just see Ole Miss going to the Egg Bowl the day after Thanksgiving at 9-2 to play that game. You can just see it in the sky.
Yeah,
and it scares the hell out of you.
Which it's not a position you want to be in. So.
Oh man, yeah.
But I do agree. I think Texas A&M will find a way to run the ball, and I think they'll do what Tennessee couldn't really do. It hurt them against Georgia because lost them the game, and hurt a lot in this Mississippi State game. Is Tennessee's really good at scoring fast, but we don't know how to eat clock. We don't know how to take just control of a game. Offensively, and I think Texas A&M will be much better at that and be able to really slow down Mississippi State, and that's why I think Texas A&M covers. But State is playing really well right now. I can't deny that.
Yep. Yeah. I actually went back and forth on this one for a time, but overall I picked A&M. But if you look at last year's game, as bad as Mississippi State was, it was still a 10-point game, and it just seemed like Texas A&M never had full control of that game, even last year. But now they're at home and under the lights. It's going to be crazy. Kyle Field is going to be amped up, and I just think Texas A&M does enough to win this game and cover here.
I think Mac Jones just broke his leg.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
So now they're on their third quarterback. Jesus.
Josh Dobbs,
Wow.
right? Isn't that who
Something. It might be his knee brace. It just looked like his leg was like bent weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. He has massive knee braces, so that's
Yeah, he does. Yep.
All right, has everybody made a pick on this one?
Everybody made a pick.
So, right?
I believe so.
I believe so.
Mhm.
Sometimes I get lost in the minutia. And anyway, all right. Oklahoma, Kent State. I think Becky's the only one. Or
No, Boss Manning and Mike. Why don't y'all pick Kent State spread?
I mean, it's a huge spread, but it's
Way too big a spread.
We're
Kent
starting a QB that
for
hasn't
Michael
started a
Hawkins,
game
yeah.
all year. A week before Red River, nothing about Oklahoma is going to want to show anything or win by margin here.
Kent State had won a game and
run the ball and win.
Yeah.
What Academy would be.
we could all
They might
play.
Corey.
We all 6 could play against Kent State and with just us 6 and still win that ball. I mean, they're
I
terrible.
know.
They are really bad. But
Yeah.
Oklahoma has to want to score that many points.
That's
Exactly.
a good point. That's
A massive
I should
spread.
definitely score that many.
Yeah.
Corey, Steve, you picked Oklahoma though, so you think they're going to do it?
Oh yeah, I like Michael Hawkins. I
Okay.
genuinely, I think he's going to be a good fit under Ben Arbuckle.
think
I'm
so.
curious. I want to see what it looks like because he's a good player.
They can like in this particular game, they can sneeze and put up a 50 burger on Kent State. Like I think Kent State, unless Julian Edelman found another year or found another game of eligibility,
I don't know if that would even help.
coming back, him and James Harrison, if they come back, maybe, but otherwise.
This might be the quickest second half we see all year because it is going to be run, punt, and we're going to get out of Dodge, I think.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, I mean, even then, I don't think Kent State can even stop them doing that. Like, I really don't.
What's the prime time?
I don't think they do stop them, but with the spread this big, the clock is your friend, and I think that plays into it as we get along.
Miami, Florida State, the prime.
I think I'm the most confident about my Kent State pick of any picks this week.
And if you're not sure about picking against the spread, look at Becky's score against us.
Right. Yeah, that is a good
yeah.
point.
Look, I have
The way to do it.
been breaking my rule for multiple weeks, and it's screwed me multiple weeks. Never pick against the massive spread. So this week, I'm going back to my rule. I'm picking Kent State. I think they cover that 45.5.
Yeah. I'm with Boss Man there. I think they cover.
All right, Mike. Why Kentucky?
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Spread?
That is yes, it is absolutely the spread. Kirby is very bad in big spread games. He's in Georgia, and not only big spread games. Going back to Georgia Tech last year, their last 8 games, Georgia's 0-8 against the spread.
Oh wow.
So I was out on relative to Georgia standards. I was lower on him in the summer, and I still am. I don't think this is a playoff team. They're elite at run stopping. Their run D is awesome. They're pretty ho-humming about everything else right now. The talent is there, but I think it's another one where they dominate the line, they run the ball, and they win 31-14, something like that, which doesn't cover.
I think Kentucky's on quit watch.
I think they're really close to doing what Arkansas did against Notre Dame.
I think they're on quit watch. That's the only reason I'm breaking my rule of picking against Georgia with a big spread, because Kentucky is on quit watch.
Well, going to Mike's point is the next week you got a big game at Jordan Hare, so they may overlook Kentucky since they're down. They
just lost. They don't overlook people.
Was last year the 13-12 game, or was that the year before?
Last year was 13-12, but that was their first.
That was the week before the Ole Miss loss to Kentucky.
That's right.
Yeah. That's really what my coach is going to be: is how does Georgia respond after what just happened? Do they come out and get angry and beat the crap out of Kentucky, or
I'm trying to remember who Georgia played right after they played Alabama last year?
Yeah, but then
to
Jake's point, they got to go to Auburn, and then they've got Ole Miss as their next 2 games.
Oh, they beat Auburn at home. Is what happened, Corey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they beat, and that was even kind of a weird game. But
I'm wondering if they just don't go all out against Kentucky because they know they've got such big games later, or do they just get angry and take out frustration?
That's frustration, and Kentucky's bad enough to where you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably a topic for next week, depending on what happens in this game. But Mark Stoops' buyout is like $38 million. So I don't think Kentucky's getting rid of him, even if they win.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
Yeah, they're hoping Kirk Ferentz retires. And putting that video resume together for the Iowa Hawkeyes of not playing offense.
But even if that happens, Iowa fans are going to pull what Texas A&M did. Man, their message boards are going to revolt. We don't want this guy, and he's not going to get the job.
Have you seen how bad his punter's been?
Yeah.
This guy can't punt.
There's no punting allowed in Kentucky.
I can't even think the Iowa Hawkeyes fit as Chris Kleiman if they're going to hire somebody novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iowa runs 75 plays a game and 49 of them is punts. So,
why are they in punt formation on second down?
Hey, the best offense is is a good defense. So
they get a big gain and immediately punt it.
Yeah,
we're done.
I will give Iowa credit. They were the one that fooled us for the first time on Nico Iamaleava against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Had 5 touchdowns in that game.
Look, I can't talk too much crap. Iowa's been to the playoff, and Texas A&M has not.
Well, that's so weird to hear, but
ridiculous.
Yeah.
When did Iowa go to the playoff?
God, didn't they?
No, they lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten title game and didn't.
That's right.
That's right. They didn't go.
Ken Walker was there and Mel Tucker.
It was like 20-14 or something. I mean, it was a close game, I think. But
is that when they could throw the forward pass at Iowa?
They had to throw the forward pass to win that game, and they couldn't do it.
Right.
There's a documentary series called Rights of Autumn. It's narrated by Burt Reynolds and all of this. And there's a scene in there where they're talking about Newt Rockne getting with the quarterback at Notre Dame to learn how to throw the forward pass, to hit the ball, to catch the ball on the dead run. They basically brought that into football. Iowa will be there in like 3 years.
Yes.
Iowa's putting it. They're installing it now.
Well, I guess a true one then is Michigan State has been to the playoff. and Texas A&M
Yeah.
does.
They just checked out Walter Camp's How to Throw a Spiral book.
All right.
All right. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Here we go. All right. We are SEC After Dark. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful adventure here, as it always is. Stephen Willis, Locked On Ole Miss. I think you're up to 17,000 subscribers.
I'm getting close to 16,000. Please subscribe, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But the most watched Ole Miss podcast.
We'll have Chris Beard on the show tomorrow. So tune in
That's
for that.
awesome.
Oh, Chris Beard. It's turning into a basketball show, guys. Steve is no longer going to talk football at all. It's all
that's what I'm going to do.
That's the great business model, right? No,
Yeah.
That time
So,
of
yeah,
year shift.
It's
by
like,
a
what is this?
freaking country
Kentucky?
mile.
Yeah.
By a freaking country mile. I think it's literally by 1 million views. You're the most watched.
Yeah, over 1 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had 400K last month, didn't you?
Yeah, 400K
Yeah.
in the month of September.
Dude,
Yeah.
I jumped from
That's awesome.
I jumped from 11 to 30 on my channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which I need 80. I need
30 views,
85
not
more
bad.
subs. I need 85 more subs. I'm in double digits now.
Okay.
All right.
Get to 1,000.
And they'll obviously get there this football season. So give Corey a subscription.
Yep.
you
Mike
don't mind
Huseman, All Season After Dark. He joined me earlier this week for a little bit of a collaboration. Make sure you check him out. He's doing a phenomenal job with that show. Jeb, like the Florida roads, you're under construction. Not sure when the finish line is, but we'll get there eventually, right? Love you, buddy. Biscuits and SEC. We got half of the crew here. Boss man, when Hammer joins from the ether and he makes himself actually a reality and not just a figment of our imagination, we will you'll see the greatest show ever. And Jake Thomas, the double dose, the double shot of Alabama, Bama After Dark, Tide Talk Live, 2 phenomenal shows in the Bama sphere of podcasting. So make sure you check that out as well. Check me out on Locked On Vandy and the regular guys, which is still very sporadic right now, but we're working through some things schedule wise as Locked On Vandy grows. We'll see kind of how that works and fits in. So all of that, we join forces for SEC After Dark. Until next time, go Dogs, anchor down. Peace.
Gig 'em.
Enjoy
Roll Tide.
Toddy.
your football.